me some sugar." He puckered up, wrapped me in a bear hug, and gave me a rough kiss on my chapped lips. "We should stop wasting time and get loose so we can celebrate your homecoming. Don't you think so?" "Yeah, I guess," I muttered. After the wretched day I'd had, the last thing I wanted to do was get loose in bed with a man. But I wasn't in no position to say no. I glanced around the living room. As gloomy as it was paradise compared to where I'd just come from. On top of dirty clothes scattered all over his floor, coal oil lamps set on his dusty coffee table and both end tables. There was more clothes and other odds and ends on the saggy couch. It's good to be free again. We can celebrate, but I need to wash and lotion up first. I slid my tongue across my lips and couldn't believe how dry they felt, even after Lester's sloppy kiss. "You know where everything is at. Make sure you put some calamine lotion on them ashy lips. And hurry up, so I can show you how much I missed you." After I took a quick bath and scoffed down 2 peanut butter sandwiches and a glass of buttermilk, Lester grabbed my elbow and steered me to his bed. We stayed there for the next hour. Once he was satisfied, he sat up with his back against a stack of pillows, gazing at me with his eyes narrowed. He started laying out the rules in a gruff tone, which was odd for a man that had squealed with pleasure the whole time he was humping me a few minutes ago. "We better get a few things straight right now. You had it easy the last time you stayed with me. You was lazy, spoiled, and came and went as you pleased." I sat up, but I kept my mouth shut because he was telling the truth. "I ain't going to put up with all that foolishness this time. If you want to stay under my roof, you're going to get a job and pay half of the rent. You'll cook all the meals, keep the house clean, wash the clothes, and everything else I tell you to do." "Is that all?" I sneered. "No, you'll pay half for the utilities, food, and every other household expense. We're straight?" "We're straight," I mumbled. I would have agreed to anything because I was too tired to argue. All I wanted to do was relax, organize my thoughts, and figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. "And another thing," Lester continued, wagging his finger in my face. "If I find out you fooling around with other men, you will suffer." "I ain't going to fool around on you," I assured him, shaking my head. "I ain't never cheated on none of my men." Lester wasn't the best boyfriend in the world, but the best I could do at the time. He was a little on the bossy side, unpredictable, and self-centered. I'd always overlooked his faults because I liked his light brown skin, cute baby face, hard, trim body, and good hair. He always had a decent job, and he had never beat me. Besides all that, he had been hinting for years that he might make me his wife someday. Since Lester had more of the things I liked than any other man I'd been with, I assumed he'd make a good husband. He was 36 now, and I was 30, so I prayed that he'd be ready to marry me soon. I could have moved back in with Aunt Nadine and Uncle Sherman. They had raised me after my mama and daddy died in a tractor accident when I was 6. My aunt and uncle had moved to Mobile last month, and I wanted to stay on in Branson. It was just another typical segregated small town in Alabama, but I never wanted to relocate because it was the only home I'd ever knowed. And it kept the memory of my parents alive. Most of the residents in our part of town lived on dirt or gravel roads and ramshackle houses. Lester's place was one of the few on our block that had an inside toilet. The folks that didn't have one had to use the numerous common area outhouses. Every house had a pot-bellied stove in the living room, and almost everybody had a garden, a bunch of chickens, and unruly kids running around in their yards. Some folks had backyard pigsties. Unless it was hog butchering time, they'd let their pigs roam around in the yards too. Lester was a simple man. He didn't want no livestock or kids because he believed they would be too much trouble. I didn't agree with him.